Right, a bit of role play today with the guys here at Growth Resourcing, all about making sure we get those calls perfectly in the great place. Talk about the opening, the discussion part, and the ask. And we'll start by just doing a bit of role play around understanding how do we get a breakthrough that first part. So let's just imagine, I want you all to imagine you're selling Growth Resourcing today, okay? So what's the problems that we solve for the audience of Growth Resourcing?
Sales is easy.
Sales are lazy, productivity,
No.
growing revenue, love it.
Recruitment.
Recruitment, love that SE as well. So can't recruit. What else? What are the other things that we are doing for sales directors and CEOs that they feel that they need from us just before we start engaging with selling?
Seeing sales calls then.
Getting calls done. Brilliant. Okay. Okay. So, we also know our openings. We always know our openings. We talk about some on the weekend. We want to try and focus on understanding it and being honest to the person about the fact this is a sales call. We're having a conversation with them, but we read there's a specific reason why I want to call it. Okay. So, who wants to go first? Do you want to go first? Do you want to go first? Oh, loads of people want to go first. Oh, that's right. Do you want to sell? Do you want to sell Growth Resourcing, or do you want me to sell to you first?
I'll sell.
Okay, cool. All right. So
Whatever you can stay.
let's just remember our opening. So our opening, we don't want to be, we want to be quite short and sharp to the point and get to the element of it. Okay. A bar and you're paying for pastries and nice goodies from the Capital Pearls. Right, go for it.
Ring, is this James?
It is. Yeah. Who's this?
Hi, James. This is Yanni here. I'll call you from a company called Growth Resourcing. If you could just give me 50 seconds of your time to explain why I called you today.
Go on, in your 15 seconds.
Perfect. James, I'm calling, like I said, from a company called Growth Resourcing. We are a business and services consulting company. We've been helping companies run sales and gain revenue from making calls that people in the UK don't want to do. So I was wondering, how is your sales department handling all of these things that the industry is facing?
We're all good. We're good for that. We've got good sales details. So thanks.
Oh,
good.
Perfect. I do understand. I'm very happy that you were bridging. But if you could just explain to me, what does good mean to you at this moment? What does your good look like?
Well, the guys are pretty good at doing calls. They don't maybe do as many calls as we quite like, but they're pretty good at generating leads, and we've got a strong pipeline.
Perfect. That's amazing. I'm very glad that you have everything under control. But just out of curiosity, what could it take for us to turn that good into great? Like, if we could change anything for you, what would it take for us to?
That's a great question, actually. I guess I'd like to see a bit more from the team. I'd like to see a little bit more, and I guess we always want more business to come through. But I mean, what is it you guys do? How can you help us with that?
Well, James, we've been doing some research and we realized that in the UK, a lot of people don't like to make the cold call. So we have a team of people that we put you with that is willing to make these cold calls, drive revenue, get the sales team working and working very hard. And we've solved this problem for like 3 companies. I don't know if you know Cinetep, we're working with them at the moment. Have you ever heard of them?
No, I haven't, but Eric.
Yeah, it's one of the companies that we're working with. There are others as well, and I could get into it the whole day. But like I said, you said that you good, right? So we were hoping like to change things for you and make it great. Like, how would you be open to having like a 15-minute call with my director, just to get into the nitty-gritties of everything and see if we can solve some problems for you?
Yeah, I could be open to that, I guess. I mean, I actually would be buying and be one at it.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to. We don't know each other that well, Let's just, get to know each other, see if there's anything that there's an alignment somewhere, and we can take it from there. How does Tuesday 1 p.m. sound for you?
Okay, I can't be Tuesday at 1, I could do Tuesday at 2.
Okay, perfect. We'll see you then.
Well done. You definitely deserve that. Perfectly deserves it. Why do? You can get a tape bit, okay?
Thank you. Oh, there's so many crossbones. I'll have this.
Well done. What do you mean fix that?
She's heard you said good. So we make it great for us. That was the key to open the door.
Agreed. That was really good. Okay. So if you think about talk about the opening, the discussion, and the ask for more. If I was being uber picky, I think your opening could have been a bit quicker, okay, and I think you could have been a bit quick with the lines, but they were pretty good. I liked your questioning in the middle. Your question in the middle was about good to great. I like that. You talked around, actually appreciate you dealt with the objection about the fact that we're good right now. I thought that was really good here. And then you'd be in a position where you unpack the meeting. So I thought it was really good. So it was a really nice, they're not always that easy. As simple as we know, what it was unpacking the elements around it. How did it feel from your perspective?
It felt good. I think I asked the right questions. I could have asked more. There are some that came into mind after I asked the meeting, but as time goes by, you just anticipate the objection and you answer it. But it felt good.
Yeah.
It better, but was good.
I think what we've got to, and obviously, the tonality. So if you think about the tonality that I was using at the time, what do you think the tonality was like? Was it RC or friendly or?
But RC then was just like my sales team. It was both.
Exactly that, I said exactly that. It was a bit, I wasn't pissy with you, but I also wasn't completely friendly with you, right? Which is what we're going to get with most of the types of people we engage with. We're not going to get people generally bowing down to us and having those conversations. So I think it was really, as I said, I would just sharpen up that opening a little bit. Good morning, Zianda. You don't know me, but I've got 15 seconds that you know why I called them great for the source. Okay? This is, or let me know why I specifically called you. This is a call, we've not spoken before, but I wanted to specifically call you this morning. Now, one of the things we also might want to do at this opening stage is on it your own player.
Deep and Saturday.
Yes, I mean, just doing some role play sales training. The exam's just knocked it out of the park to win a press one, so it's all good. It's all good. So one of the things that we just want to do is just get sharp in that opening, okay? And one of the things to also look at, because bear in mind, we're not just another number on the bedpost. We're trying to, we're trying to be in a position where we focus on doing something about that word specifics, okay? Or unique, okay?
Yes.
When we start using words like specific and unique to people, it's about them. Now, this will be slightly different in certain situations. Again, in your case, Jen, what you're doing, it's more difficult to do that, but you want to still look at their background. We want to still know that so one of the things you could also see, by the way, congratulations on the award you won, okay? By the way, I love the article you guys shared last week. By the way, congratulations on, I see you're you guys are big sponsors of such and such. I hope that's going well. We just want to leave so it's small and simple that makes the person feel like we've looked at them, not just that we're another number on the bedpost, okay? Well, we've just got to have these elements in place. We're really, really nice, clear open. Also try and just think about, the other thing I did think is, I love the way you actually, you overcame it in the discussion part, but I would like that first question to just be a bit sharper as well, okay? We're doing we're dealing with organizations that are frustrated at lack of sales productivity. We're working with organizations that are keen to grow their revenue more, but can't generate and find the sales leads to do that. We're working with organizations that can't recruit the level of people that they want to do the level of work that they need, and they're frustrated by that. How big an issue is that for you? So I want to lead in with something that's strong, that gets, or they're frustrated that their sales team are not making enough calls. How is that a frustration for you? How comfortable are you that your sales team are doing as many calls as you'd like them to do? Okay, so we're just going to work on a couple of those other questions to dig into the problem of the audience, okay? But I also like the way you brought in a customer, for example, that we used, and I think that's good for you guys to have. To be able to say we work with organizations, like Trade Nation, they're like Marshall, okay, like Soben. We're working with organizations, to be able to help them, like Cinetech, for example, as well, where we want to help them generate leads and generate new opportunities. This is the example of the people we worked on. So, but really good. Well done you. Right, who's next? You want to go around the room? Go around the room this way. You're next, Jen?
I'm gonna try now. My list is up.
Oh, you're going to do what?
Yeah, there's a lot here, but let's just go. Okay. So, again, hi, am I speaking to James?
Yeah, you are. Who's this?
James, it was Jen here from Insidia Indemnity. I know we haven't spoken before, and I have no doubt that your ring's busy like that, but please can I have 23 seconds of your time to explain the reason why I chose to call you today?
Okay, go on then. What's it about?
Okay, thank you so much, Shane. So I work with several health professionals, and many of them believe that the insurance cover they have, with regards to the thing you need against them, and they have a really busy practice. So I just want to learn today more about your insurance provider, and are you sleeping well at night? knowing that you have such a busy practice, and if there were a claim that was made against you, how aware are you that you will be covered?
Well, I think we've got good coverage in place at the moment. My policy is pretty good. We've been with the same provider for a number of years, so thanks very much, but I don't think I'm interested.
Okay, thanks, James. I do understand that. Thank you for that explanation. But let's talk more about your actual cover. Has there been a scenario where you have been in a situation that you can tell me that, you know what, Jen, I am 100% sure that my insurance will cover me if I do have a claim?
Well, we're very good. We're very good at what we do as surgeons. We generally don't get claims, but I'm pretty sure our cover would. I'm pretty sure our cover would be fine.
Okay, that's great to know. But I've done some research on you and your practice, and I see that you run a very busy practice, and you really involved with a lot of patients, and that's gonna make your business. I mean, your practice that you are running, you're gonna have to employ more people. You're gonna have to, be well aware when you are going. How confident are you that if something is going to happen in terms of your surgery or your patients, that you don't have no problems at all in terms of your claims? And discretionary, is there any other concern that you may have?
Well, I think we're okay. I mean, the policy cover is probably a pretty big organisation. It's a mutual, so it's a mutual. Yeah, we've been working with this mutual for quite some time, so we've had no reasons as to why that would be any reason for us to change with.
Okay, that's big. So let's talk more about your insurance cover. So tell me a little bit more about your insurance cover. How long have you had it? Was there any claims that you have had, or were there any claims against you?
No, we've never had to make any claims. We've had the policy in place, but the practice has been going for the last 6 years.
Okay, that's great. So tell me more about the cover. Do you know when you're up for renewal?
I think it's up for renewal in about a month's time, actually. A month's time, 6 weeks' time.
Okay, that's good to hear. So why don't we get on to our Indian Tour page, and I can tell me more about incision, and it will cost you nothing just to get a quote, and you will learn more about us, and you will have better assurance, since your cover is going to be up for renewal in a month's time.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't hurt to get an alternative quote right now to sort of see what we could be. Are you going to be cheaper than them at the moment? Can you guarantee that?
I wouldn't be able to guarantee price at the moment, but I can guarantee you that you will sleep good at night. You will have nothing to worry about in terms of our cover that they're going to offer you.
Okay, yeah, well, send me a link through and I'll happily try and complete it and see what I'll get my secretary to do it probably.
Okay, all right, that's great. So can we confirm your email address and I can send you the information? What information would you like to see on that email?
Well, just maybe a little bit more about you as a company and how long you've been going and why others trust you, I guess, would be useful for me.
Okay, so and are you in front of your PC at the moment?
Yeah, I am actually.
Okay, can I send you a link very quickly, or can I just direct you to our page? And we can just go through the code very quickly. It will take about 5 minutes of your time.
Probably not best to do it right now, but send me the link. I'll look to do it later.
Okay, so I'm going to send you the link now, and then tomorrow can I confirm, or in the next 2 days, can I confirm if I can call you back at 2 o'clock and we can go through it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, give me a call back then. That's fine. That's great.
Thank you, James. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And I will talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right.
Well, that chance you better.
I haven't sold inquiry.
But okay, so what was really good around that, okay, was I like you quickened up the tone a bit at the start, which was nice. Okay, so you were a bit quicker. I think you were going to sell good resources. So when you were saying, I was a bit like, I was meant to be a business owner, but so I think it was good. There was some really nice ways in which you asked the question about sleeping at night. I like that. Yeah, we've got to create that element of that. We talked about some of the time with clients, we've got to create what we call FUD, okay? Especially when we're in a position when we're doing what we're doing. We've got to create that little bit of fear and uncertainty and doubt. We're not trying to sell on fear, but we're also just trying to create that little bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, okay? We're trying to get them to think, actually, does it hurt to at least look at that? Wouldn't it not make sense to get just something covered? Would it not hurt to just consider an option, okay? We also want to be in a position where we get them to just think, okay, yeah, well, actually, this could give me something. It just could give me a little bit more. It could give me something that's going to basically give me that extra bit of assurance. And like the way you were focusing on the assurance part of it, okay? So which was good. How did you feel it went?
Oh, I wanted to go ahead and not sell Doti sourcing, but go with the incision because I know I'm gonna get on the calls dialing very soon. So for me, I felt like insurance is a very, very big thing as a medical bill. And the doctors, the practices are busy. They've got patients coming in and out of the hospital and procedures all the time. So you won't ever know when there's a claim coming. And you don't want to have, when the time comes and then you realize, shit, I'm in a situation where my cover actually isn't what I thought it was. So create doubt and, create awareness more about why my insurance cover will be best for that particular health professional.
And that's exactly it. And one of the things we talk about all of the clients, there's a USB or there's some offerings that we've got with Incision. It's about the quality of the policy. It's about the quality of the cover. We know in most cases their competitors will, we talked about the discretionary, the mutuals, it's a discretionary cover. They can choose to do it, okay? Whereas with Incision, it's a guarantee contract. So actually, there's no doubt about it. If they do have a claim, they will guarantee to deal with it, whereas most people wait. So it's picking up all those little things. How would it feel? Just think, if you were in that position and you weren't given that assurance, how would that feel? The other thing, I think just one thing to pick up on as well, which is a couple of things which I noted down in both your sessions. There were a couple of times when I let you a little creak into the door, okay? And both of you didn't quite take advantage of it. For example, I think you talked about the good to great, but I talked about the numbers aren't quite the way we'd like it to be. Or I think I said, I think we're doing okay, right? So we've got to listen. We've got to actively listen it in to what they're telling us. So, and even though in your mind you've got the next question that you want to ask, don't be afraid to then go back in. If you sense the weakness or gap in their thought process, could be wrong here, Deb, but you just mentioned that. Yeah. Tell me more about that. What's been going on? Or you mentioned, I just sensed you were uncertain there about it. It could be me, but I just sensed you felt that they could have improved. Be honest with me. What were you thinking? Okay, tell me what you're thinking. If I can't help, no worries, no dramas, we'll leave it to it. If I can, let's open up that conversation. So sometimes we've just got to be keeping in to look out for the small, if you think about it, especially with existing clients and existing organizations, we've got that small opening sometimes as to where there's potentially a tech challenge or an issue going on in their world. We've got to list out for the tonality and the way in which they say that and they do that, okay? And if we can do that, then we could be in a position where we can instruct to try and our finger around the door and see, can we peek through? No, the door's been shut. No worries, we go somewhere else, right? Because we know we've got to keep on. A part of this process is different elements we've got to try, okay? If we try 3 or 4 different elements, so one of the things you've got to have with each client which you're working with is, problem 1, okay, solution. Problem 2, solution, okay? If we know our customers, and we do know our customers and the way they work, problem 3, we're talking about these issues, we've got to then be able to move to one to the other to the third. If after all of them, they've said, no, I haven't got a problem, then it's like, okay, we can't help, but sounds like you've got this covered. But most people here, especially when you start to talk about actually, and you talked about the good to great, that sleeping well at night, doesn't it hurt? It would hurt to just have a quote. The other final thing I'd say to you is you talked about, for you it's going to be a challenge to get people to do it there and then, but I said to you, I'll do it tomorrow. Make sure we try and keep them on the phone, right? The moment we've got them on the phone, so I would have said something like, look, totally understand you're busy right now, but you're probably wondering one thing to do, but wouldn't it be great just to tick this off the to-do list? No. Wouldn't it be great to get this just ticked off? Should we do it now, get you the quote, and if we can't help, hey, we'll leave you to it. You'll never hear from us again. Yeah, I'm not going to worry you because you're busy with other stuff. Wouldn't it be great just to get this done now? Right? I've caught you on the phone at the right time. You've been able to take the call. Let's just handle it right now, shall we? Okay? Well, does it hurt to just get this done right now? So what we then give them is that option. Because otherwise, chance of them then sending the email and coming back to us may happen, may not do, but we just want to take the ownership. Bear in mind as well, the moment we've got them on the phone, that's our chance to start and carry on the conversation. If we lose that chance, we lower our chance of anything to do with anything else. But really good, really nice. I like the way you were handling it and playing it out. I love the fact you did a decision. I was a bit like, whoa, did we expect a decision, but it's good. So one of the things we'll need to just make sure we work on is the USPs. And this is something maybe I'll get Tyson and the guys to work with you all as well. So the USP for each client, okay, and what our responses are to those USPs or to those, how do we link the USPs to some of the problems we think the audiences have got? Remember pain, what we're talking about, POs follow pain, meetings follow pain. Okay, when people have got issues and challenges and things that they're frustrated with, then they get to a position where they want to then at least open up conversation. Good stuff, like it. Leon, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
There's a muffin ready for you here if you're fearing enough. No, it's all good, I'm sure. So come on. So you're going to sell growth resourcing for me, yeah? By the way, if you're watching the camera, Leon's just joined us, not been with us that long. We're really working with a client of a new client of ours, but yeah, we're gonna play this out. You've not done this with me before, so it's good fun. So right, let's go for it then. You can sell growth resourcing, right? Okay. By the way, well, should I be an arsehole or should I be a nice person?
Nice.
Hi, James. It's Leon from. Hi, James. It's Leon from Road Resourcing. I haven't spoken to you before. It's my first time. Can I just take about 27 seconds of your time just to have a quick talk with you and to speak to you about challenges you're going through?
Yeah, okay, but okay, what's this regarding?
Okay, you currently from Road Resourcing. The reason for the call is we currently see that you are experiencing problems with gaining revenue with your recruitment. I know with the challenges that you are facing, our company basically will help you with recruitment, with gaining revenue, with sales productivity. How do you feel about that?
Oh, we're good, thanks.
Okay, I totally understand, but you will actually turn that could integrate. Now, what's your definition of could, if you don't mind me asking, Hips?
Well, we're pretty good with our sales team. We're pretty good. They're pretty focused. We've just invested quite a large amount of money in training for them, so they know exactly what to do, and I'm pretty sure they'll be making calls that we need them to.
That sounds perfect. I'm sure you've got a wonderful team out there. Now, I'm not sure if you heard of companies as Trade Nation, Marshall, Cinetep. So with some of these companies, they have gained a revenue of 10%. So how would a 10% revenue, a gain of 10% revenue sound to you?
Well, of course, that would be useful to have that. But when you say they gain 10% revenue, how have they done that?
Just by the sales productivity. We've been setting up, we've been recruiting, we've been monitoring their sales calls. So we've been with the business and you've been helping them whereby, because lots of companies in the UK, employees are not, they're not willing to phone the customers. So what we do, what you cannot do on your side in the UK, we will be able to do it on our side.
Okay. Well, having some people making outbound calls for us could be, it's always good to get more leads in the pipeline for sure. But I'd need to know a bit more details around what it costs and everything else really before we'd consider it.
That sounds perfect. That's not a problem. So what I'll do, James, I'll get my director to give you a call. Yeah, you give you a call on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Does that sound great?
Yeah, 2 p.m. Tuesday could work actually. That's fine. Who's the director?
His name is Neil. His name is Matt Garman.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. All the best, James, and have a lovely day. But have a good day. Cheers.
Well done. Yeah. No. Well done. You're gonna sort of a left or left? Yeah, left. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, we got left. Yeah. But I can't even do that at the end. So he's filming. Right. Take him up and take. So, how did that feel for you?
It feels good. Quick's rough on the edges, but it feels good now because it builds up a little more confidence.
Yeah.
So it gives me
and this is why role play is so important, right? Because it was good and I liked it. I definitely want to finish. I think some good things you were doing. You waffled a bit at the start, okay?
Yeah.
So that opening, and this is why I said to you, it's so key that we get that opening right, okay? That opening has got to be so clear and sharp and concise, okay? And the reason you didn't is because you've just the first time you're doing it, right? So it's cool. So I'm okay with that. But I want that opening to be nice and sharp and punchy, okay? To the point where we actually talk about a specific, it's this. Remember I talked to people before about this, and you guys weren't here, but I talked to the other guys in the past. Prospects are like animals. They'll seize upon your fear.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're fearful, if you're feeling that sense of or trepidation and uncertainty, they'll just pants upon it and they'll bite your hand, right? So we've got to make sure that and that confidence comes from the practice and the role play and making sure we know exactly what we're going to say and how we're going to say it. Totally understand you're busy, Leon, but I know there's a reason why I called you. I'm working with organisations in the moment in the UK and they're frustrated at the lack of sales productivity in their team. I'm guessing this isn't a problem for you, but if it was, how would you solve it? Right? Confident, stroking, smoothing into the conversation. Right? Don't let the prospect bite you with fear, right? Because they'll pick that up on you if you're not careful. But I like the elements around that. I think we've just got to get that patter in here. This is why I talked before that and by the way, the guys that we've done this training with before, we've talked about openings quite a lot, okay? This part in the middle is the critical part, okay? If you think about the 1 minute to 9 minutes, okay, those 8 minutes all fit in here, right? They all fit in that process where we've got to keep that conversation going. We've got to keep that conversation going. How do we focus on that? We focus on knowing the problems of our audience and knowing how we solve the problems of the audience, okay? The reason we're able to help than other people at the moment. If you were to get your team to be 25% more productive and make 25% more calls, how would that make, what impact would that have on the business? Yeah. Huge. Right, okay, so if that would have huge impact, wouldn't it make sense to at least unpack that a bit more and see how we can make that happen? Right, and then I'm into the ask. Right, does it hurt to have a meeting with Matt Garment or Neil? Well, sorry, Neil was. Does it hurt to have a conversation, a discussion? Would it hurt to have that conversation? Talk to my director, have a conversation with him. If what he shares with you isn't of value, then we'll leave you to it. So don't be afraid to go backwards. We've talked about this going backwards. We're not trying to pitch you. We're just trying to open up a conversation. If what we share can't be of value to you, we'll leave you to it. We don't want to give them that exit, okay? When you give them that exit, it makes them feel like they're not going to be then pressurized into a meeting. The meeting is a conversation to discuss things that can't help, no problems. Right, rather than making them think, oh, they've got to be in a position where they're going to, should be down a pub, or I don't want to be sold to, I'm going to have a sales conversation. Because remember, 90% of salespeople sell badly. So therefore, they're going to assume that their whole conversation is going to be based upon people telling them how great their company. All right?
So don't put pressure on them in the first call, or like maybe think that we distribution director, they are obliged to take a product. Just have a conversation with our
Yeah, because just think about it. What we're asking them for is time, right? We're asking them for time. And time's their most precious commodity, right? So what makes you give up your time is something that's of value, okay? Something that's interesting, something that's intriguing, okay? Something that makes you think I can learn something from it, okay? Why would I give up my time to someone, okay? Would be that conversation. Yeah, I had a sales conversation with someone last night, actually. And it was really interesting. She's been able to help us with me with my YouTube channel, but it was interesting. I felt she could have been a bit clear about what we're going to cover on the call, but it was actually asking questions. It was asking open questions. It was asking questions of what do you want to achieve, where do you want to go, and what you're trying to get to. She wasn't pitching. She maybe at the end of the session talked about what the next stages could look like, but she didn't pitch. Most salespeople pitch, you see, right? They try and put people into a position where they want to sell something before they're ready to. Okay? We know we can't sell growth resourcing in our first meeting. Oh, and by the way, it'll be me doing the meeting probably more so than Matt, okay? No, well, Matt or me, but either one. But I will never sell growth resourcing in that meeting, all right? What I'll be doing is I'll be showcasing examples of what productivity levels we're getting. I'll be showcasing examples of, talking about conversion rates. I'll be talking about examples of what's the implications of recruitment and not being able to find the right people. What's the lost revenue? I'll be talking about things like that. I'll be even trying to share as well. We've also brought copywriters in to share resources and values. So one of the other things to don't forget is a lot of our clients, we don't always, we want to ask for the meeting, but sometimes we also want to share a resource. We want to share something that's useful and helpful that could help them plan and go forward and do things that they want to do from there. So, like it, we'll come back to you around a little bit more. I want you to listen to some of the others. Listen to, what Xander and Jen did there was examples of, they've been doing it a bit longer, that listening to those elements, right? That's why your team is so important between you, because you could pick stuff up between people, all right? Right, boy, we just did a bit of practice. You ready? You're playing for a muffin or a croissant. There's only 2 croissants there, or a scone. But the boss wants a scone, so she's in the back. She wants a scone, so you got to fight.
Oh, and a croissant.
Oh, really? Wait, you have to fight Lloyd for it if he wins it. So, right, are we going to sell growth resource and Timmy? Sure, let's go for it. Okay, go. How's the most chips? Have you an arse on or nice?
No, come on.
No. Yes, yes. Please. It'll be difficult for him. Please, just for him.
It's 3 of them at the back there. One of them I'll be an arsehole for. Wait, so.
To give it to this one.
Go. Okay, Karen, let's go.
Morning, it's James.
Yeah, it is.
Hey James, my name's Lloyd. Full transparency here. We've not spoken before. Can I ask 17 seconds of your time to turn what as I getting chosen to call you?
Go on then. Yeah, okay.
Oh, thank you very much, James. Appreciate that. James, my name's Lloyd and I'm from Growth Resourcing. And what we do is help businesses to upscale by helping them increase productivity. And we've gone so far as to increase revenue in some companies by as much as 10%. Tell me, how are you currently dealing with such challenges?
When you mean challenges, what do you mean challenges? What challenges do you mean?
Well, a lot of the industry and how do you approach Jones are having issues with just sales staff who aren't making enough calls. Productivity's dropped somewhat in their businesses year on year. And what we've done effectively is help them scale up and increase their revenue overall. And in some instances, by as much as 10% over a 2-month period.
Okay, well, I mean, look, they always want our sales team to make more calls, but we get quite a lot of leads that come through to us, so they're pretty good at dealing with those leads at the moment, to be fair.
And that's a brilliant problem to have, James. I mean, your team dealing with it really well is a great thing, but how open are you to actually getting a 10% increase on revenue?
Well, of course, every company wants to get an increase on 10% on revenue. I mean, of course, there'll be something we'd like to do, but who have you done that for?
Well, we've worked with the likes of Trade Nations, Moffa Intertech, Sogan, Cinetech. And to be honest, having personally worked with Sogan, I'm able to share a great success story where, they were struggling just to get meetings booked. And we've successfully, in the space of 2 weeks of calling on behalf of Sogan, already generated 4 meetings with 4 of the biggest tech giants across the Americas right now. Okay. So, having an impact like that on your business, how will that impact you positively?
Well, it would definitely be if we could open up more meetings with potential clients, and definitely something we'd like to do.
And James, again, thank you for sharing that. That is exactly what we do over at Road to Sourcing. If we're able to do what we say we can, how open would you use having a chat with one of my directors, either James, Matt, or me? Collectively, they have over 70 years experience in the sales industry. So these guys really know what they're talking about. And to get into the technical specifics of all of it, I would strongly recommend that you speak to one of him.
Probably is when you get into meetings like that, I just don't want to be sold. Yeah. We're not in a position where we've used up our budgets for the year at the moment, so we're not in a position probably where we want to buy anything like that. So maybe give me a call back in 6 months' time, probably best.
James, I understand. No, I appreciate your sincerity and your honesty and all that. And to be honest, from my end, James, what we're hoping to do by having you chat to James, Nick, or Matt is just to give you an idea as to how we can get you going in that direction. Because you mentioned earlier on that 10% wouldn't hurt your business. If anything, what you did say is you could sure use that. And so I'd like to capitalize on that and why wait 6 months to increase your revenue by 10%, and we can get that going right away. All I'm asking is that you take 15, 20 minutes of your time to have this conversation. At the very worst, James, you would leave with possibly more ideas and implementable solutions on how you could change things on your own. And 6 months down the line, if you want to have this conversation again, then great. Let's do that.
Okay. Well, in which case, happy to have a meeting. Okay.
Thank you so much for your time, James. I have an email address for you that reads james@jameswhitesales.com. Is that a good email to send the calendar invite over to?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so
And how does Thursday at 1 p.m. work for you?
Yeah, that's can't be Thursday at 1. I could do I'm out all day Thursday, Friday.
Well, I do have it opening at 10:30 a.m. on Friday. Maybe we'd better get that up the way on Friday morning, and then you can head over to the pub and celebrate.
This sounds like a good idea. Okay, let's put it in for then.
Brilliant. Thank you, James. I'll show you some of that email.
The box of goodies comes out.
So, I mean,
Well, if you win the croissant, if you take the croissant, you're in trouble. That's all I'll say to you. Well done, Lloyd. Well done, Lloyd. How did that feel?
Sufficient. At all.
I said the Lloyd can say how much.
Oh, wait, let's go.
Fixed it.
Look, well done. I thought it was really, really, how did it go for you?
I think in the beginning, there might have been a bit of nerves on my side because I jumped into challenges a lot, actually pointing out any challenge.
yeah.
I thought your opening actually was the strongest out of all of them so far. Your opening, I love the way you explicitly said you at the start. So again, we're listening out for tonality. So I'm listening out for small words and small elements. If I just you exuded confidence, okay? You made me go, I want to listen to this, okay? And the good thing about us recording this is you guys can listen back to this when the do's finished as well as part of the process. You exuded confidence, but then you like you say, you basically then didn't talk about the problem because I sort of let you into this element. So This is why that first minute is so key. What I did love was the way that you did, once you told that hook, okay, you carried on with it. So what you could have said is, we're generating 45 to 50 meetings for organizations over the last 3 to 4 months. How would that impact you guys? And I love that way you brought that in. What implications would it have to open up 50 new meetings for your sales team? Are you you're telling me that 50 new meetings with hot prospects wouldn't be of use to you? So what you're doing is you're making the promise of what it is you could give. And the promise might change depending on the organization. But wouldn't it be useful to be able to get, in your case, Marshall, would it be useful to be able to have that assessment just to ensure you're covered? Wouldn't it be useful just to get that quote just to make sure you put that peace of mind? Would it be useful just to be able to have that conversation? So just to be able to pick that out. But the rest of it I thought was really good. And I think that you were really strong in being able to handle the couple of these. I like doing it, but specifically like the way you handled the objection when I said you haven't got the budget for it right now, okay? And you were able to then relate back to the 10%. So I like that part. The only thing to bear in mind as well with all of this, and this is the thing, is they ask for the meeting, the way that we want to try and position the meetings, okay, are around about value, okay, resources and value. All right? So actually resources and value are what I'm going to share. Does it hurt 15 minutes? I know my director will share insights and ideas and resources and value for you that you'll find useful. And if we can't, we'll leave you to it. So again, don't forget, again, it's part of what I talk about, the exit, okay? The exit is really key, okay? People don't want to be sold to. So they want to be in a position where they now in the growth resourcing case, you can guarantee, certainly, that in our case, that we won't push them to a sale, or I won't anyway. But Matt might, but I'm joking. But the point being is, it's about making them de-risk this part. The other thing we can also just get to do, we talked about, is making sure they turn up, because the key thing is making sure that people turn up. So again, sometimes it doesn't hurt to reconfirm that. Okay, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a meet on Thursday at Friday at 10:30 with my director, Matt Garman, to 10:30. We're going to talk about some of the sales productivity issues that you mentioned. Remember, Lap summarized the conversation. And Matt, I'm going to ask Matt to share with you a couple of ideas of sales productivity that could help you. And if we can help you, great. If we can't, no worries. So make you think, what am I going to gain from this 15 minutes? But it was really good, really good. So good session. So, well done. Right, Tice. There's only 2 left to do. Was I an arsehole then? No. There's 2 left. It's going to happen with one of you.
I know both of us leave if I do that. That's for sure.
Slip a point. It's what which way is the arsehole going? How'd we go? So, okay. But, okay, let's do this, actually. I always lose track of this in there. That's the tail side, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, right, Tyson. Heads or tails?
You can be an arsehole.
I know, I can back. Tails.
Head.
It's a head, it is. Yeah. Didn't know which one it was. Right, to you, Quentin.
I'm with James.
Oh, who's this?
James, this is Tyson here from.
Oh, Marshall, thanks.
I understand. I know you won't be interested. You haven't even heard anything I said, James. Yeah? This is why I'd like 37 seconds of your time to tell you I specifically decided to call you today.
Go on, then. You got that. That's it. That's all you got.
James, I've been speaking to other directors in your area, and for some reason they've been explaining the same problems to me, and that is poor productivity of the staff, and they start making the calls to get numbers to their funnel. Tell me, how are you managing this over at ABC Production?
We're okay, thanks. We've got it covered. We've got a good team here. They're pretty productive at doing things at the moment. So no thanks. We're all good. So no, appreciate that anyway.
Jen, I appreciate you telling me that. I expected you to tell me that. Let me just share a quick story with you. 3 months ago, we spoke to a few companies in your area, and we managed to increase their productivity and increase their meetings by up to 20% in the last 3 months. How did an increase in productivity and new business been for your company?
We've been pretty good at it, thanks. We're also, like I said at the start, we're pretty good. We're all good, thank you.
And I appreciate that, and thank you for sharing that with me. But I mean, new business, what would that mean for your company if we had to introduce 35 new clients over the next 3 months? What would that mean for you and your business?
Well, it'd be great, but I don't believe you'll do it.
Yeah. All right. then the conversation wouldn't hurt. And I understand because you don't know me, right? What would it take for us to have a conversation just to get further in the call?
Well, I need to find out a bit more about who those people were and why you were able to generate 35 meetings for them.
Okay, excellent. And James, again, my name is Tyson Anthony. I'm actually calling you from Growth Resourcing. The companies that we work with are Trade Nation, Marshall, Cinetech, and we've done some amazing work with them over the past 3 months. Yeah, look at revenue increase of about to 5%, an increase in business, as well as 35 to new business prospects over the last 3 months. You can tell me that wouldn't hurt your business.
No, it wouldn't hurt my business, but if you could achieve it. But I get told this by so many people, so many companies, so many people try and come in and ship miracles, and the reality is it never happens. So being honest, I don't believe that.
And I completely understand that, right? But you know the problems that you're facing, and I understand the problems you're facing. And if we could solve one or if not all these problems, how open would you be just to having a 15-minute conversation to see what we can do? If we're not a good fit, perfectly understandable, you can be on your way.
Yeah, well, you've been quite persuasive. So if your team are as good as this, then it might be worthwhile having that conversation. But I'm certainly not buying anything. Our budget's to use that this year, and being honest, my business partner doesn't believe in outsourcing anyway. So it's highly unlikely that we do anything for you.
Yeah, and Jens, I wasn't expecting you to do anything anyway, and I respect your opinion on this. This is just a 15-minute conversation with no obligations to understand where you are and where you could be in the next 2 to 3 months with our assistance. How open would you be to that?
Yeah, okay, cool. But 15 minutes is fine. I mean, do you want to do it now?
Okay, yeah, sure. We can do it now and get my directors on the line and we can have a quick chat. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, let's just do it now. Tell me what it is you can offer us. If we think it's great, we'll go for it. Have a little look at it further. If not, then we'll leave you to it. Yeah. Well done.
See, Joanne, the way you persisted, it was hard. I would have been like on the third objection, I would have been like, nice, fine, magics.
I gotta give Tyson a bit. Look, it wasn't mate because it's a difficult one.
Miss, and I know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I should just go to the toilet.
I wasn't asked though, Matt. So, but look, the reality is, it's difficult when people are like that, right? And there is a difficulty to it, but we are going to get people that are like that, okay? We are going to get people that are going to say, I don't believe you, and you trust it. One of the things that, one of the things we talk about doing, and we need to probably do this, is to get you guys all to sell growth resourcing, because just actually the ability to actually say, look, I'm calling you right now. How much of your team do this type of outbound calling? Okay? How much of your team do this type of work right now? And by the way, if I'm doing this and I'm making calls to people like you, 50, 60 calls like this, be honest with me, how many of your team are doing that right now? Okay? Which is the sort of conversation that we've got to be having with people to be able to get to that point. I think one of the things that we've got to make sure we do, and this is a GR part, okay, is we've got to make sure we've got the evidence clear, okay? Okay, because, with the amount of meetings that were generated and opportunities, you've got to get that clear. And that also talks about any of your clients. We've got to be clear you've got to know your facts. Because again, bear in mind, as a sales team, when we tell one lie, all our truths become unimaginable. So we've got to be in a position where we've got those evidence and data. You can make sure you get this from the client. What are the aspects I'm looking for here?
Are there case studies and such stats available that we could put onto a OneDrive for ease of access reference?
Yeah, definitely. For Trade Nation, I know we've generated like 765 meetings. 65 disease. Yeah. So I knew we might know by a few more on that. We can get the exact figures. In fact, I know from Trade Nation you've actually generated some specific revenue from some of the partners already from that. So, but again, you've got, and one of the things obviously we maybe not include the actual names of the companies in this video. But for example, because I know Sobin, you've got to be careful about whether we include
Is Sobin, but the clients they deal with, there's a full hush.
Yeah. But well, so it depends. So might be happy, but the point being is we might go set up with, for one organisation, we started working with them 6 weeks ago and we've already generated the 4 meetings. That's a fact. That's what you tell. Right.
I promise you, after this, I won't call you. So, James, I've spoken to many directors in the same industry as you, and I've done a lot of research on your company, and they tell me all the same thing. Sales productivity is low. People aren't making the calls. As you can see, I'm one of the guys that makes calls to you. How is this affecting your business currently with sales revenue dropping and your guys are not making the amount of calls that they should actually be making?
We're all right, thanks. The guys make lots of calls already. They don't call people mate.
Okay, sorry about that, James. So your guys are making calls, but how productive are they when they're making those calls? Are they that good enough that your sales productivity is increasing when you have done it?
Yes, yeah, we're good. I'll go to a meeting right now. So just, we're all good. Thanks, mate. Just send me an email. Yeah, it's fine.
So I no problem. I can send you an email. What would you like to see in that email for me to send to you? For me to just be like, hey, this is a nice guy. Do we read his email? Or I can call you back again.
Just send me some details of what it is you guys do, and I'll have a look at it and think about it.
No, not a problem. Like I said, what specifically would you like me to send to you, kids?
Well, what it is you offer and why companies like mine would buy it.
Oh, sure, no problem. I can tell that if I send you this email, you seem like you just want to get clear feedback. You know, if I do send you the email, would you actually going to really read it, or are you going to delete it? Because you can tell me now, because I can send it to you, and I can give you the information. And trust me, this information has helped many other companies. For instance, I've spoken to one of your partners down the road, one of your competitors, Trade Nation, and the reason they are with us with both resourcing is because we increased their meetings from like they were getting like 2, and now we're getting like 10 meetings in a month. So
You work with Trade Nation?
Of course, we work with them. Those are one of our lot of clients.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, if they are a competitor of ours, and if they're using you, then maybe that's just say drop me an email. I've got to jump into a meeting right now, so just drop me an email and I'll have a look at it.
No problem. I can definitely do that. For James, this will be one of the things you should check off your list. I mean, I already spoke to you for 5 minutes. You know, I didn't give you much of your time. Another 10 more minutes with one of my directors, James. James White is one of the leading sales always, and I, as well as Matt, if he's not available. And I mean, 10 minutes of your time, you already spoke to me. That might change your mind. I mean, speaking to them, I mean, you have nothing to lose. It's non-obligational. Like, you get them on a call right, because I'm speaking to you. How would that sound to you?
Like I said, I've got to go to a meeting right now, but tell them, drop me an email and I'll literally, I'll have a look at it from there.
Sure. Tell me, what time do you finish your meeting, or when would be the best time for me to call you back again?
I just come back later on today, it's fine.
Sure, no problem. I'll give you a call, say, in the next 1 hour, because the meeting might be...
No, I've got others. I'm going to go to a back-to-back meeting. Just give me a call later on, that's fine, and drop me an email.
No problem. I'll definitely call you in this hour. So. Yes. It's not a kiss here. As you said, more than...
Tell you my first, but it's interesting, right? Because it's tough what you did there, but you made one cardinal mistake at the start, right? And you knew that as well.
Yeah.
So, and I said it to all of you, colloquialisms will fuck people up. If people literally phone me up and call me mate, I would put the phone down on them. Buddy, fella, mate, it's not right. Okay, so I know you bash isn't that's not what you win, and you recovered it well. But you've got to be careful. That's why those openings are really careful, because if you called someone mate, I would bite their arm off. Okay, and I've had people do it, and I'm like, and the only way you've got to do it is if there's a guy there was a London guy that called me. He was like, all right, mate, how you doing? And I thought, I'm thinking you're a fucking wide boy, right? So but directly you recovered it well. I was an arsehole, but it's hard. But what was the bit that turned it, right? So the bit that turned it, this is actually so peripheral to think about. The bit that turned it was when we actually talked around, we're working with other partners down the road alike, okay? So one of the other things that can be really powerful for us is to utilize clients' case studies, okay? So we're working with other organizations similar to yourself down the road, such as X and Y, that they're finding useful. Wouldn't you be intrigued to know what it is they're finding so helpful about it? Wouldn't it make sense just at least to find out what makes them look at this? Or we're dealing with other people such as X and Y. Surely it makes sense for us to be in a position where you can at least see what they're seeing in this. If you think that they've got it wrong, then no worries, but at least explore that. So again, it's opened up that option to be able to do that, okay? And this is the bit around this discussion part, like I say, which is the toughest part. This bit here, okay, is the bit where most sales people fail. Okay, it's the bit we've got to become so adept at, because you all got the opening. Most people will give you 9 out of 10. People will give you the opening, but it's this part here where we've got to dig into the problem, the challenge, and then big up around it. Okay, and that's the issue for most people. But good, well done to me. It's good to go through that. And look, again, what I noticed with these guys, 2 guys, and especially with the 3 of them, in which again, we want to develop for everyone, is just getting this patter even more in tune with our brains, right? This patter, you had it, all you had it,
but definitely think for you, Neil, and just getting that pattern so that you're able to work through the questions and the conversations that they're having, right? Those next stages, right? Would it be open to talk about a problem? And actually, what implications that have cause for you? What challenges that create for you? How do we then go down? Sometimes we go here, we go down little rabbit holes, we go down other rabbit holes, get to the next point, okay? But then we bring it back down to point 2, we bring it back down to point 3. We get to our 9 minutes that we can then start to ask them it.
So when we asking about problems, we never ever ask the clients what problems he faces. We tell them what problem the industry is facing.
Yeah, I would say to them, we're working with other organizations like yourselves, and they're frustrated with these type of challenges. How big an issue are these proving for you? Okay,
Don't ask them directly what issues are you
if
facing.
you ask a prospect what your issues are, I'm not going to tell you, right, you should know that, okay? Or most other call centers will do badly. We don't do it that way. So most other people, our job is to know the prospect and to know their issue and know their challenge. Now, if they say, I've got a problem with any of these things, then you go, wow, okay, in which case then you guys sound like you're covered, no worries at all. But the science is we can't help you, but just out of interest, what would a company like us that sells potential people to make phone calls for you, where area could it help you, okay? So that's why you've got to unpick the 1, 2, and 3 problems. One of the things you've all done a little bit of is actually you've gone problem to problem, or sometimes explore this problem out, okay? So for example, if we're talking about sales productivity, what's the implications of sales productivity? Tell me more about that, or what would happen if we were able to increase the productivity? Can I ask at the moment, we're seeing organizations who people are making 50, 60 calls per day per person. How does that fit in with what you guys are doing right now? Okay?